How did you deal with long-term members of staff that weren't performing?
Well, this was very, very tricky. Some were more popular than others. Long-term members of staff they might have been there at the beginning, and they found themselves in a situation where they weren't doing very well, and it was obvious, and they might not have been that popular, which was also usually pretty obvious. Well, dealing with those people wasn't as difficult as dealing with the people who were popular and who you liked yourself. When you start up in a business, you always start with a massive amount of idealism and hope, and everybody at the beginning is making their contribution, and you're grateful for that. But as the company grows, and as we discussed previously with the Peter Principle thing, sometimes people end up doing a job which they're no good at, and there's no going back for them. They generally speaking themselves don't want to go back to doing something which they see as a lesser task or a lesser senior role, because they're afraid they might lose face or whatever. So then you've got a really tricky situation. Do you allow a person to continue in a role which they're obviously not suited for, and where they're not respected in the way that they're dealing with it, or do you just poke them in a cupboard somewhere and just put up with them doing some insignificant job but with a big title? I have to admit that for quite a few years I definitely did allow that to happen with certain people, because I just wasn't strong enough as an individual or as a boss. I wasn't good enough, so I allowed them to be called something and drift around doing what was an insignificant or non-essential job, earning a big salary usually, and it never did me any good. I should have just been brave enough to have allowed them to go one way or another. Would have probably been better for them as well.